heavenly class in order to get the key. When they are on earth, they study from the prophets. When the prophets come back, they study from the heavenly class. Yahweh is showing that there is equality in those who are blessed by Him, whose heart is right. Just like the Gentiles studying from the Jews, and when the Jews fail, we find that the Gentiles have the understanding, and then the Gentiles give it to the Jews. So there is equality again. There's no super race of any kind. One helps the other, and then the other helps the one who had helped them in the first place. So the prophets must recognize the heavenly class. Therefore, all of the prophets must make contact with Jehovah's Witnesses. Just how far the other prophets have engaged in this work, I don't know. But they definitely have made contact with them. So when Yahweh called them out, or any of these things, we'll have to hear when we see them. And they will tell us just what happened with their personal life. Verily I say unto you that He shall make him ruler over all his goods. Now the ones who were busily engaged before He came would be made ruler over all his goods. Okay. This means that those who would be blessed with this reward would have to be working before He made a second presence. This means that the 144,000 would have to be selected before He made a second presence. So there would be no other 144,000 that would come straggling in 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, or even today. Such is not the case. They would have to be busily engaged before He made a second presence. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. Now, if that evil servant, all of a sudden this same servant becomes an evil servant, why? That's not all of them. Those who were of this faithful and wise servant class, many of them became the evil servant, because they figured that the Lord had delayed His coming. They had reason within themselves that He was supposed to come and take them into heaven at a particular date. When it didn't happen the way they wanted to, they fell out. These are evil. A truly righteous-hearted Israelite will not find fault with Yahweh. He'll find fault with his own reasoning and say, where have I failed? What is the truth? What does Yahweh want me to understand? And he will continue to search even harder. He will not fall out. Anyone who falls out does not have the proper heart condition. And Yahweh wants no part of them. He allows them to fall out. All right, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and eat and drink with drunken. The drunken means that he turns against those he studied with. Now, we've had experience, we've had the evidence of this right in our own members. And eat and drink with the drunken, they'll go back to those who are drunk or to those who have no knowledge. They'll go back to religion, they'll go back to politics, they'll go back to anything. Incidentally, I heard that one is going to take a course in political science now, one who was with us. This is very, very enlightening. Now the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. In other words, not that he comes any other time, but the results of his second presence will overtake him unawares because he doesn't know anything happened. He's blind. When he loses sight of Yahweh, he loses complete sight. He loses complete understanding. He no longer knows the truth. The truth becomes a myth to him after that. And Yahweh allows him to believe a lie, because Yahweh doesn't want him. And shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, those who were in the truth will be rewarded as the hypocrites, those who are not sincere, because they will prove their insincerity by once having been in the truth and then rejecting it. And they will get the same reward as the hypocrites. All right, are there any questions on the study? Yes, please.
Verse 10.
I skipped verse 10?
Yeah, I'm trying to click on
Oh. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. All right? Many would be offended. This follows upon them being hated of all nations. This follows the tribulation that comes upon the heavenly class. In other words, they begin to look at one another, and instead of loving one another and supporting one another, the evil ones will say, how did I get into this? I shouldn't be associated with you people. You brought me a lot of trouble. They begin to hate the very members that they were working with. Everything was all right as long as it was rosy. As soon as persecution comes, they hate those whom that the persecution is directed against. They hate those who are in the truth, and they want to alleviate themselves or relieve themselves from this persecution, so they hate the very members who have the truth, and they leave them. They turn against them. Okay, this happens after the persecution. Yes, Ginny? This is illumination. Well, lightning, especially in a dark night. I don't know if you have been walking in a dark night, a stormy night, when it is pitch black and lightning flashes, you begin to see everything. You begin to see your way. In other words, what he brings out is that there will be understanding when he makes a second presence. That's all there will be, understanding of the Scriptures. So for the first time, you'll begin to understand the Scriptures. This is an indication that he has made a second presence. No, it just shines all over from one end to the other. Yes, Bill? Pardon? 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now, Yahweh says, in Israel will I be glorified. In other words, he brings out that the land of Judah shall be a terror to Egypt. Yahweh's land, Yahweh's country, Yahweh's people. The appearing of the Son of Man, the sign of the Son of Man, which causes all the tribes or all the nations to mourn, is the fact that they begin to realize that Yahweh has selected a people for his name, and they are going forward very successfully in explaining the Scriptures and gathering the people out of the world and exposing the world and causing the world and its members to be revealed or exposed for what they really are, a wicked and corrupt organization that the Lord's people should, any honest person should have no dealings with. They see the strength of his people, the success of his people. They begin to understand his prophets have returned, a new nation forming. They will see everything getting out of hand. And this will be the realization that he has made his second presence because he is beginning to direct in an invisible manner his people on earth. The response of his people on earth will cause the world to realize that something has taken place in the heavens, because we will continuously refer to this work as being guided from Yahweh, that he has made a second presence, that the kingdom has started since 1917. He is now in Jerusalem. He is ruling over the earth. He is directing his prophets. We are doing his work, and it's going forward. This will cause them to realize that this power has been exerted upon his people, and that they are on the other side of the fence, you might say. They become those who are not to receive Yahweh's blessing, those who are being chosen to meet with the curses that he pronounces upon them. They will understand that he's selecting the people that he's blessing. Is that clear? I hope. Is there anything else, Bill? Yes. 45.